Hi there, it's Paul with QMI, and today is a very special day. It's March 20th, 2015. It is a new moon, Pisces new moon, and it's also the spring equinox. And here in Benicia, California, it hits at, I believe, 3:45 p.m. So a potential for a lot of change and a lot of growth with the spring equinox. Today, the conversation that was really pushing because of all this new potential growth is conversations with God. And so what do I mean by that? So I'm just going to relay a quick little story. I was coming back down from Mt Shasta on Highway 5 at night, speed trap hunting, which is one of my fun things to do, and you can just you can humor me with that. And at any rate, so I was talking to the God of my heart, which is going to be different from your God because we're different people, number one. And you know, if you have a religion and you believe in that God, that's fine too. It's of no consequence. It's all good. And one of the things that had come up was I said, well, what is one of the major things that you see that we could work on down here? And it was conversations, direct conversations with the God of your heart. Because what was coming up was, so I asked, well, what was the percentage? And it was coming up at 0.2% actually had direct communication with the God of their heart. It varied between 0.2 and 0.4%. So part of what I'm going to jump into today is a quick exercise that you may find helpful, maybe not. You feel free to modify it or change it up until it suits you. To connect directly without any issues to the God of your heart and to your higher self. So that's what spring is about. It's about knowing that you're always connected to God. It's about knowing that you're can always connect to your higher self, and that you're always loved and held. It doesn't matter. You know, you look at all the programming and perceptions that are thrown at you as we've grown up, and whatever religious background you've had or didn't have when you were growing up also is going to have some influence on that. But the major thing is to actually know that you can actually connect, have a better connection, especially with your higher self and the God of your heart. So one of the things that comes up is another trip coming down from Shasta. It was raining, and I took the car that actually had a limited slip differential, which I'll just quickly explain. With an open differential, with most cars, the tire will just spin. All the power goes to one wheel, and the other wheel may be the one that actually needs the traction. So I took the car that actually had a limited slip, so it would transfer the power back and forth. Turned out to be a great. I was listening to my intuition that day, and it was absolutely 100% on. Because coming down through the twisties from Shasta, which I usually fly through safely, but it was raining so hard that the car was actually sliding uphill in excess of 65 miles an hour. I actually had to start chopping the speed back. And I had to kind of let go, ground the car, and continue on. If I kind of held on too tight or chopped the speed too much, you know, it may not have actually done anything. And most people say, well, you should have slowed down. Maybe, maybe not. I did what I did, and it turned out to be perfectly fine. So enough about that. Sometimes in life, we can slide sideways, backwards, we can slide upward, we can slide north. The key is to be able to connect to the God of your heart, knowing that there's always that connection, and to your higher self, who can help you along your path. And in most cases, that's what we're going to work on today, is improving that connection with your higher self and the God of your heart. Because everybody is going to slide sideways a little bit, or backwards, or you feel that you don't have traction, and you're kind of searching for it. So thus the relation to coming down in the heavy rain and actually just persisting. For me, it was just about continuing and knowing that it was all good and continuing to ground the car. So at any rate, the exercise that follows is easy. Why don't you grab a seat? If you're not sitting, probably not be a great idea to be driving at this point. But so just sit down, and then imagine a grounding cord going from the base of your spine down to the center of the planet. It could be Cheetos, it could be chocolate-covered donuts with nuts on top. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes to mind. It could be tulips, could be Ferraris, could be Maseratis. It doesn't matter. Whatever fun thing comes up, ground with that. and wait until you hear it click or bolt it to the center of the planet. And then what you want to do is do the same thing with the center of your head. And that's located between your temples and then directly in between the front and back of your head. What you're trying to do there is get neutrality and get everybody out of your space so that you can own this part of you. And you can hear your higher self and the God of your heart. So at any rate, you can close your eyes when you're doing that. Same thing applies. Make it out of licorice. You can make it out of bananas. It doesn't matter. The more fun, the easier it is. And you're actually going to move a lot more energy. And once you've got that done, you can try swapping it out until you actually get something that actually feels good. If it doesn't feel good, try something else, is my suggestion. And use your imagination. And once you have that connection established, just release anything that's not in your best and highest good and that's not you down your grounding cords. And then go ahead and above you start to pull your energy from wherever it's been back into a gold sun over your head. And just allow that to completely fill up, and then give all of yourself back to yourself down from your crown down to your feet. And you can let the excess run down through your grounding cord. What you've effectively done is brought your energy back to yourself from wherever it's been. And if it's not with you, obviously it's out with others, and you're not as effective as you can be right now, right here in your body, because we want you in your body, not out. So now once you have that done, it should be easy, it should be fun, and it should be, have fun, and a light heart is actually another great approach. So that what you want to do next is go ahead and you're going to close your eyes and think of put yourself here and then your higher self. And what you're going to do is draw a line between the two and then clean that line, that connection, that communication line with cobalt blue. And what you're doing is cleaning the communication, you're repairing the communication line. It's probably been a little battered and tattered and probably needs some repair at this point, and maybe it's in perfect condition. So, but regardless, you want to reestablish that connection with your higher self. When you feel that you're done, go ahead and run gold through that, which is the highest essence that we can run through our bodies, and go ahead and clean that connection. And then you're going to do the same thing with the God of your heart, or you can run it from yourself to your higher self to the God of your heart. Whatever comes to you that's the easiest, I would suggest doing it straight to the God of your heart. Again, draw a line that represents communication, run the cobalt blue through it, and then run gold through it, and then establish communication. Very simple. If you have any doubt, drop it down your grounding cord or change out your grounding and bring your essence back in until you can. It may take several times, because if we go through a lot of invalidation as we've grown up and through our past lives, if you want to believe in that, which I firmly believe in. So there's going to be some invalidation energy that may come at you, or doubt. Dump it. And have humor when you're doing it. Don't get all pissed off. Laugh at it. The more amusement that you have, the easier it will be. So what you would like to do next, and one of the things that I do in my abundance program is I assign, and I tell you, I'm going to assign you a guide, and the guide, I'll tell you right now, is your higher self. Because your higher self will never steer you wrong. Always has your best interest in mind, is not going to have you invoking any more karma on yourself, and wants you to grow and flourish while you're here, especially through your lessons or whatever you've chosen to experience or transform yourself into while you're here on the earth plane. So ask yourself for a next step, ask yourself for some guidance, and know that you can connect at any point and time, and clean that connection at any point in time to get guidance from your higher self, to connect to the God of your heart, and know that you're loved and you're held by the God of your hearts at all times. There's never a doubt. That's very important, because when that separation happens, it creates this void, and it can be like the Grand Canyon sometimes. You want to shorten that up, and you want to build that bridge, and that's thus the cobalt, thus the gold, your essence connecting to the God of your heart, your essence connecting to your higher self. So with the spring equinox also, and the new moon in Pisces, another thing that you can work on is your spiritual healing today. So you can put an intention down for that. You can put an intention down for your to release any helplessness in your life may come up. You can release any, improve your psychic awareness, which we all innately are grown, we all innately have. Connection with some may be better than others. Obviously, the more you work on it, the better off you get. But again, the quick little exercise about connecting to your higher self and the God of your heart will carry you as spring. We're here for spring and we're here for growth. If we're not growing, what are we doing? In my eyes, we're dying. I'd rather grow, to be honest with you. So my take on it is, you know, I look at growth, or we call them growth periods, is to run into it and experience it and kind of enjoy it. I don't want to sit there and be in resistance. And when we're in resistance, that's when we're sliding sideways. So find out what it is, talk to your higher self, talk to the God of your heart, and ask what it is that you're supposed to take away or what you're supposed to learn or experience so that you can actually do it with more fun and have a, you know, more amusement, and so that you can enjoy it. It doesn't have to be hard unless you've chosen that you're going to make it hard in this life, and that's what you've chosen to experience, which actually may come up. So at any rate, here's to new beginnings. Here's to new growth for you, growing spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally with spring here. So make it a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon, and best wishes to your growth, and have a great spring equinox today, and enjoy the new moon. Take care.